Operations. Thanks for joining me on your Wednesday night, or if you're catching it on replay, whenever you happen to catch it. Appreciate your being here. So, first bit of news, I guess, is if you've caught some of my couple of my recent videos, I've been been playing a little bit with a new paint. That paint is going to be launched this Saturday. So I'll have it up and out on the shelves on Saturday, and hopefully live on the website as well. I'm going to be doing an immediate reorder because they launched it in a big kit with all the promo stuff and everything, and I didn't want multiples of all the promos. So it's just, you know, only so much of that stuff that I need to begin with, and I didn't want to have to be carrying tons of it. Instead, I'd rather put the money into paint. So I am doing an immediate reorder because I'm digging this paint. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and having good results in terms of both its ability to be able to blend, so staying open a little bit longer and being able to blend it quite well, despite the fact that it has a bit of a sealer in it, able to get some texture with it. And so far the coverage has been excellent. So yeah, that'll be happening Saturday. I probably have to do some little marketing things for the for the website and for Facebook and Instagram. I need to get on that. Never enough hours in the day, but look for that happening. I'll be able to talk much more openly about it after Saturday and be able to tell you way more about the paint itself. But pretty excited that that's a new line that we'll be launching here, and that it's a new line, period. It's not just here, it's just a brand new line to the market as well. So that's kind of cool, always very exciting. Videos, gotta tell you, Monday's video, I was using the new paint, but it was more as well to show that you could use just like one color paint. I have a lot of people that say they don't have a lot of different colors of paint at home and to be able to use. And so I wanted to show you a number of different thrift flips, some different techniques that you're using just one color. Now, I did include white and black because most people always have white and black on hand, but just the one color with white and black in a little bit of an accent in there. So we had done just, like thrifting. I don't know if you ever see these flat bottom kind of pot labels. They can hang against a wall. They could certainly sit up, but we just painted out the handle, put a little bit of a butterfly transfer on it, and works perfectly as a flower pot in there. So it'd be super cute hanging in the backyard or sitting upon a shelf. But think also about this seasonally, right? So a faux Christmas tree sitting in this at Christmas time would be super cute. A bird's nest with a little bird and some eggs in the springtime. So you can definitely, a big pumpkin sitting in there come the fall. You can definitely switch something like this out decor-wise and not be locked into just one look. So I really love picking these up from thrift stores when I come across them. It is the only one of the 4 projects that's still available. It's $9. We did this tote, which was all in natural wood. So one thing that was awesome was seeing the paint going over the raw wood and how well it absorbed in there. These were in kind of a bright stainless steel look, the hardware. So we painted those out, switched them up, did some stenciling in black to tie it all together. So that was the second project. The third was this. Now, I loved this guy because it came with this rusty tarnish finish. Originally, it was kind of painted this color, and you can see how well the color that I chose kind of tied into that. This is the one that you can see some of the paint coming through here. And so it was the one that kind of led my selection of what color we were going to do. But we added the trim here because it was damaged, was cracked along here. And that clay served to reinforce that edging. So it's a great way of adding a decorative element, but that also kind of shores it up and kind of solidifies it. And then the fourth project we did was this big board. And we did some dry brushing, both in the white and in that green that we'd used. Painted out this hardware, which again was in that kind of stainless steel look. And I didn't change it significantly. It was a little bit more, kind of a little bit more of a mottled sort of color here. Added a little transfer to it. And just a super cute little piece, adding different florals into that one. So those are all gone. Those are all sold already. So, you know, a couple of you have been having fun checking out the list prior to going. I will be, Gail, Joni, I will be getting those packed up and shipped out tomorrow. Joni, your other package with your painting and the other tray that you had bought, although just make sure that you check that the handle and the hardware is attached onto the handle. We just took that apart so that it could ship flat with the painting. So nothing was going to be poking the glass in the painting, and my fingers are crossed that arrives intact. So can't show you that. It's super cute painting though, Joni. I know you're going to love that. I really liked it myself. Okay, so there tended to be that just happenstance, as with all things, ended up having a little bit of a theme happening here because I get a lot of people asking me kind of as we go into the summertime about berry bowls and whether I have any. I have one in the shop right now, I know, but I'm adding 3 more options tonight. So this is the first one. So it's a handmade pottery. It's got like the marine blue with the yellow, a little bit of red trim, but you can see all the cutouts that are in the base and the sides. And that's so that as you would wash your berries and you put them in, that can drain out and they're not sitting in that water. This one, and this is a signed art pottery piece. So this one's $9. But I also have this little handmade art pottery piece as well. So it has these little embellishments on, not really the 4 corners, but it's a circle. It doesn't have corners, but it has those little embellishments. It has your drainage holes. So, you know, these are berry bowls, colanders as well, if you would like. So it's got the holes, but it also comes with its own little underplate as well. So you've got the little plate that goes with it to be able to capture any of the water that's draining off of it. So that one's $14. And then I also have these stoneware berry boxes. So I have it in yellow, red, and green for $6. And these, I love these. I mean, yes, so you can use them as berry boxes, little vegetable boxes. They're great if you, like us, are going to be, you know, at some point harvesting your garlic. So you can have them so that your cloves are aerating and being able to dry out. You know, lovely with your fresh tomatoes if you do a lot of gardening. I mean, a lot of those kinds of things, perfect going into the summer for those. And kind of a nice way too, if you're having a lot of outdoor barbecues, to be able to display a lot of the elements that you might be having out for people to help themselves to. But you know what? They're just super fun, super cute. $6 each for those guys. I love the bright colors of those. These guys, okay, let me shift these across because I have 3 variations of these. Now these are vintage Crocs, and they each have a lid. They're $10 each. These are panda and bamboo. So you've got the pandas and the bamboo. This is from Sheila Fournier. And these ones are highly collectible. Now I have 3 different options. So you get to pick your variation. This is the light. So it's a light glaze, light lid, light base. Second variation is a light base. And I have to tell you, they're all different weights. Like some are, this one is thicker and heavier, but this one has a light base and a dark lid. And this guy is all dark. So it's got the dark lid, dark base, and these are just kind of one of those highly collectible kind of crockery items that's out there. And I just was lucky enough to get 3 of them. So, that's the way it goes. I did have I did have this cool little ivory toned pear with a crackle glaze and distressing, and I loved this guy, but that got snapped up too. So that one's shipping out tomorrow as well. It happens quick sometimes. This item, now this is pretty solid. This is a handmade piece. So it's the hand turned wooden pieces to create the pedestal with the melamine top that's all sealed in there for $14. And I just loved the contrast of this. And again, nice and solid. So perfect for creating, a tiered vignette, maybe on a sideboard, because it's got this melamine. It would be nice as well to be able to display a plant and raising it up a little bit. Lots of options for that guy. This little guy is a wall hanger. So it's like a sconce. It would hold, either a vase or a candlestick or, something like that, with the lizard climbing up the wall beneath it in kind of a matte black finish. And that's $7. And now we go into, let's go into a little bit of pottery. Well, first let's do this. I have two more egg coddlers, one in a blackberry pattern and one in some kind of June floral. I can't remember exactly what the name was, June something. And these are all from Royal Worcester. They're porcelain. These are called single egg coddlers because they are large enough to hold a single egg. And you would just take the lid off. You're going to, I usually butter the inside, crack your egg in. You can add some seasonings to it, seal it back up, and then you just use the hook to be able to drop it into simmering water. So you kind of almost poach steam it within this, and then you can serve it in there and you use a spoon to be able to eat your eggs out. So egg coddlers, I love those little guys. This guy is a deceptively heavy pottery piece. So this little pot in kind of a caramel and kind of a blue-green glaze with carved detailing. So perfect as a little condiment pot or a dip pot. Be good for like an open sugar bowl. It'd be good on your desk for maybe all of your paper clips. Just a very practical little piece, nice and solid and heavy though, for $7. And then we have this fun piece, nice and bright, definitely has kind of a little bit of a 70s vibe going, I think, right? And it's got the opening for the spoon hole. And as much as it was online described as a honey pot, I think it also is perfect as a little covered soup bowl. If you were, and you've got the space to be able to have the spoon, if you were doing up a tray for someone with soup on the tray, it would be cute for that. If you're a sugar lover, it's a good size sugar bowl. But it's also really cute, I think, to have just a little spoon in there. Maybe if you're into jelly beans or M&Ms and you've got them on your desk and people are able to just spoon them so you don't have fingers digging in there. Be cute for that too. $9 for that one. I have a single mug. This is from Magenta with the bright yellow inside, and it's got a lovely little bird cage and another little pottery pot. I love the coloring on this one. So you've got kind of a slightly matte green exterior and the shinier blue glazing rim on the outside and inside, but it's got a couple of handles on either end. And they're just such a cool diamond shape. It's just kind of sets it apart, I think. So again, Art Pottery, it's signed on the bottom, $6 for that little guy. And this one is a Mayfair and Jackson red striped small mixing bowl for $12. So if you know Mayfair and Jackson, a lot of people like their dishware and their bowls for mixing and things. So this guy is from the Shawnee Pottery Company, and he is from the 1940s. So cute little elephant creamer, but there is a chip on the underside of his trunk, which for his age is not a big deal. It actually isn't from the top even noticeable. Certainly very functional if you still want to be able to use him. And if you're going to have him as a decorative piece, it's not really something that you notice. But he's in great shape from the 1940s. Definitely better shape than people from the 1940s. And he's $9.50. All right, let's go into these stemware. So this is a set of 4 of this Libby, vintage Libby glassware. It's kind of in a smoked blue glass with raised dogwood flower pattern all around the outside of them. And so the 4 of them are for $16. They have no chips, no cracks, no dings. They're like as new. And I did see a set of 4 of them on Etsy for $38. So I got them for 16. That's less than half. Okay, that's all I had to figure out in my head math-wise. This big speckled pottery bowl, I love the shape of this with the kind of the lip hanging off the side in the speckle and kind of that kind of burnt umber speckled color. Again, it's signed pottery for $11, and it's nice, heavy, substantial. If you were using it as a mixing bowl, it's got some weight to it to be able to hold itself on the table as you're mixing. Just great. And that's one of the things that I look for if I'm really looking at things for mixing bowls. I like to have something that's a little bit more substantial to kind of be able to cream my butter against the sides and that sort of thing. A pair of big latte mugs in kind of a polka dot pattern. What I like about this is actually from, as much as it's polka dots, it's from a company called Stripes. So it's $12 for the 2 of them. What I like is that the dots are irregular and that they're all in kind of cool, kind of muted shades. It's not like it's a, bright pink or bright yellow or something, that it's in the soft grays and yellows and green and kind of almost a burgundy red. So you kind of got a fun pattern without it being really bright or overpowering. And the last thing I got to reach down and get, because it's huge. I have this big. It's not going to be cheap to ship.
I'm just looking at my.
So just know this is not a this is not something that you're going to want to have shipped, I don't think. And even as much as I've put in a weight on the website, this is going to be oversized. So just know it's going to be pricey to ship because of that. And my system might not even capture that accurately, so it may need revision. But the starting price is awesome for this. So you've got the copper and the brass. You've got the big handle. It's got wear and patina. Look at the patina happening here. And it's got dings and dents, which I think are fabulous. But awesome as, I mean, certainly as a decorative piece. If you had a fireplace and you're stacking wood, this would be super cool on the hearth of the fireplace. Might need a little cleaning if you decided that you were going to have this as a decorative element with blankets in it. But I was thinking of it as a planter, right? Like if you have a big indoor tree, that how cool would this be, right? So I love this. $26, which is a steal for this. Most of them I saw online were over 100, but I figured if somebody really wanted it shipped, they'd be paying a lot for shipping. So I try and balance these things out for you, just to make your life a little easier, even though it won't make my life easy to ship that because I don't have boxes that big and I'd have to build one. So I'm hoping somebody local loves it. That would make my day.
Pick it up.
Yeah. So hopefully somebody that's local enjoys that, and it's a cool piece. But again, you have to be you love older things and you love patina person, as opposed to I love things that are brand spanking new, because it's not. But if you love things that are brand spanking new, then I question maybe why you're shopping in my shop, because nothing is really brand spanking new here. Everything has some age, including me. Okay, that's what I've got for you tonight. Thanks for tuning in as always. Friday's video is a cute little springtime craft. It was an experiment. We'll see how that goes. I have a cool video for check that out. But keep an eye out for that new paint coming on Saturday. And I don't have tons of stock of it, but I will be able to get it within days. So hopefully I'll be able to restock if I need to. So, have a little patience if it did go crazy right off the bat, but I pretty much expect that people will want to find out a little more about the paint and then trial one or two to see for themselves. But cool colors, and I'm having a lot of fun with the paint myself. So hope you guys love it once it's launched. That'll be Saturday. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you next week, and take care.